My name is Heather Hudson, and I'm the Chief Data Officer for Baltimore City. I'm going to talk about the evolution of open data in Baltimore City. We launched Open Baltimore, in early 2011, which I'm pretty proud of. I think that's kind of early, for a lot of cities. Some cities are still struggling with their open data platforms. But the main focus was transparency. That's all we really talked about. I've got a great quote here from the mayor from January 2011, and she basically just says, providing public access to government data will increase transparency and improve the level of trust between the people and their government. That was our main focus. So I was hired in June of 2011 just to do open data. I came in, I was so excited. I'm like, transparency, this is going to be great. This is going to be easy. Silly me, of getting data online. So right about the time I came in June, local press was all over an app, the first app developed by one of our members of our tech community called Spot Agent. One of the very first data sets we put out was parking citations. One of our guys came in and he said, oh, this is great. So he came up with Spot Agent. I think every city would want this. It basically says, you have your smartphone, you go to park, you stand there and you type in, here I am. With GPS, it says, oh, so for that date and that time, here's your chances of getting a ticket. And he did it with the reliable citation data we were providing through Open Baltimore. So this was like, a big win, right? Then I go to a city stat meeting, and one of the deputy mayors goes, wait a minute, we should never be that predictable. Why are we this predictable? And he said, to the parking authority, you need to start randomizing the meter maid schedule, the days, the times that they go around. Much to the chagrin of the developer of this app. But that was the moment of open data is not just about transparency. It's about, it's going to teach us how to run our operations a little bit better. The city itself would have never looked at the data that way. We're writing tickets and we're collecting income, and that's all we really cared about. But when a citizen takes that data that we're just looking at as revenue and says, oh, well, I'm going to create this great app for the public, it made us realize we need to change some of our operations. So that was like our first, that was my first, big light of, oh, this is more about how government works than just transparency. So some of the other data sets that we've put out that have also changed the way we do things is we have something called one-day liquor licenses. And one-day liquor license means you're having a big party, a big festival. You want to serve beer, wine, maybe liquor. You have to go and get this temporary liquor license to do that. Well, our police department, I think most cities have this issue, has an overtime issue. And one of the things they always bring up is, wow, there's these huge block parties that we didn't staff for. We didn't know, it causes a ruckus, we end up with a bunch of overtime. So I immediately thought, well, why don't you go out in Open Baltimore and look at these one-day liquor licenses, which is updated every 15 minutes, and it's updated as soon as that license is issued, which could be for an event that's not another month away. So the police department said, this is a great resource for us. We can go out and we can see what events are coming, where they are, what kind of alcohol is being served. If it's beer, if it's wine tasting, we might not need to worry about it, but if we see liquor and it's a 2-day event, maybe around a Raven celebration, maybe we should staff for that, that event. So that was so what we've learned in the 2 years that we've had open data is we started with it improves transparency, trust, and accountability, right? That's great. But we've learned that it invites innovation, community collaboration, participation, improves data organization, classification, and integrity, but even more, it improves interagency collaboration and government efficiency. This was not something that our mayor had thought of 2.5 years ago, but it's the future of our open data.